Namaste everyone and welcome to Sunday Wellness by Policybazaar. My name is Mini Shastri and I'm grateful to be conducting this session on International Yoga Day, a very special day for all yogis where we pay tribute to all the yogis and the generations of yogis before us and all of the knowledge that they've handed down to us. Today is also a very special session because we'll go through an important topic on hormonal balance and hormonal health. And we learn to understand a hormonal balance naturally, how to feel fabulous naturally, and understand how to reset our nervous system to be able to understand what stress does to our body and what it does to our endocrine system. We'll begin today's session with a very simple, basic, useful body scan. I'll take you through parts of the body where we'll release and relax tension that we hold. We'll also go through movements and breath. We'll also go through easing our way into movements, expanding on our breath, and just bringing that sense of ease into our systems to invite balance in our hormonal system. Let's begin supported. A cushion or a folded blanket underneath just the tailbone give you some height and length in our body so that we can release tension when we pay attention to our body, one instruction at a time. As we sit tall, we feel the base of the body supporting us. From that base, we let the spine rise tall. Although we sit upright, we sit with ease. Although there is strength, there is no tension. Tension uses up energy. We sit tall inside with the strength of our own spine, creating space for the diaphragm to move, the abdomen to move naturally to each breath. We start with letting some weight into our legs, some weight into the bones of our hips. And as we let some weight into our lower body, we sense the body and the lower body becoming solid. And as you get solid and wide in your knees, it becomes a base for our spinal column to lift. And as the spinal column lifts, creates more space and room for breath. You also sense your spine rising up, your head just above the heart. Feel ease in your shoulders slightly pushing back. Weight in your arms, resting on your knees or your lap, palms up or palms down. As your shoulders relax, you feel length in the sides of your neck. Chin parallel to the floor, there is length in the back of the neck. You lean slightly back, so the head is above the heart. There is space now for the lungs to open and close, for the diaphragm to move up and down. And without changing or altering the breath, just listen to the breath as it is. Paying attention to the breath will help relax and expand the breath. Lastly, we also rest at the back of our eyes, lips slightly touching each other, quiet eyes, soft breaths, and a gentle movement of puffing and relaxing of the stomach. As you make your stomach soft, you allow for the diaphragm to move. And you sense your natural inhalation and exhalation. Just in a curious, inquiring about your breath and exploring the spaces and the length of the breath. We'll start this session with the help of sound to connect with our inner silence and quiet an overthinking mind. Fully exhale. Inhale to a mer sound. Pause. Natural inhale. Pause. Natural inhale. And finally, the chant of Om. Inhale. Keep a cushion or a bolster close by so that you can lie down on it, and the bolster will help you expand the sternum and make space in your lungs so that you can start to open your side lungs. Breathing deep, getting connected with our breath will also help reset the nervous system. We'll start with setting up a bolster, a cotton bolster. Let it lie lengthways along the mat. And we'll do this supported lying down posture to help open the sternum and ease into a deep, long breath. So support your back by lying down. Feel the weight of your arms. Let the arms simply fall to the side. And with the bolster behind us, you will see that it's stretching and relaxing the sternum, creating more room around your heart and more space for your lungs. With this little height behind you, stay here for at least maybe a minute. Ease your weight into the bolster, ease your legs, the weight of your legs. And feeling this opening in the front of our diaphragm, abdomen, pelvic area, groin, inner leg. As my elbows fall to the sides, I feel my collarbone opening, my rib cage opening, and I ease into quiet, long breaths. To come out of this asana, you bend your knees, roll to one side, and this time, crossing your legs, face the bolster or a chair. You could even increase the height with 2 cushions, or you could even have a chair in front of you and just rest your forehead. Feel the weight of your forehead supported as you release your arms, and now open the back of your lungs. The lungs occupy a bigger space, a bigger area in your back body. And let your shoulders just fall as your back spreads. And feel the weight of the forehead, quiet eyes, soft breaths. If you feel that your knees are high up and your hips feel tight, support your knees with 2 cushions or 2 blocks, or you could also sit in this posture and then do the same thing with your forehead supported. And as you support your forehead on a chair, on 2 blocks, on 2 cushions, you also feel your thinking mind quieten. As your mind quietens, your breath relaxes, your breath responds. You start to expand your breath naturally. And coming out of this posture, we move our props to the side for now, and we again come back to using movement and sound to expand the exhalation. Inhale, neutral position, knee underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Exhale back. When you inhale, sip the breath in incrementally into your lungs, not all of a sudden. And now the sound of ma. You can also rest your forehead on something below your forehead. You could also widen your knees a little bit. Come forward on your next inhale. Let the inhale lengthen all the way to the end of the movement. And again, use sound to expand the exhalation. Set your props on the side for now. Lie on your back. You could also put a blanket underneath your hip. See that your chin is not higher than your forehead. We again use the sound to establish a longer exhale and establish our connection to silence, our inner natural silence, and establish that connection with longer exhales. So we inhale in this neutral posture, hip neutral. We bring our knees in, hold the kneecaps and pull the knees in on an exhalation. Now introducing sound. Inhale forward. Inhale away. Take your time. Exhale. Pause. Before your next inhale comes in naturally, pushing the knees out. One more time. Exhale. Synchronizing movement with sound. Next, with your back firmly supported, with the weight of your hips, the skin of your shoulders away from the back of your ears, you feel the weight of your head and you just lengthen the skin underneath the head. Straighten only the left leg. Keep your right knee bent. Stretch away. Starting position, bring your arms by your hips. Establish your breath. Take your arms overhead. Inhale. On an exhalation, draw your knees towards your chest. This is the length of my exhalation, so take your time. Try to fit the movement in the length of your exhalation. Bring your hand by your hip, extend your leg up. Bring your knees in, exhale again. And drag your heel along the mat. Take your arms and expand your lungs, rib cage, waist, side ribs, front of the ribs as you lengthen from your fingertip to your foot. Once again, exhale in. Inhale up. Watch the chin from lifting. Exhale in. Inhale up. 4 breaths. Next round. Exhale, knee draws in. Inhale, arms by your hips, legs up. Exhale in. And establish a rhythm in your breath. Inhale finally. We finish with our arms extended, leg extended. And bring your hand by your hip. Switch legs. Exhale, bringing circulation to your lower pelvic area. Exhale in. Inhale, arms by your hip, legs up. Exhale in. And drag your heel, inhale up. Exhale in. Inhale, hands by your hips, legs up. Stay here for a breath or two. And just nourishing this band here while the leg is lifted. Exhale, bringing your leg in. Finally, drag your leg, take your arms up. And you can do the same thing with our legs extended. Stretch from your fingertip to the heel. Feel supported as you lie. And then match your exhalation as the brain recognizes the rhythm in your breath. Exhale in, squeeze your straight leg away, feeling a stretch in the groin, a massage to the organs of your lower torso. Hands by your hips, legs up. Exhale in. Drag your leg, inhale up. The other leg. Exhale in. Bringing circulation to your sacrum, waist, lower torso. Hands by your hips, leg up. Inhale. Exhale in. Drag your heel, arms overhead. Bringing your knees, feet flat, knees bent, hands by your hips. Keep a block close by. 2 or 3 books will also suffice. Raise your hips a little bit higher, and rest your lower back on this height. You could start with this height. You could also come up on your toes, raise a little bit more and increase this height. Make sure you have this support underneath the lower back, and then finally drop your heels. The weight of your hip is on this block or 2 or 3 books. Arms heavy, shoulders away from the ears. You get this massage in the back of your head. So the weight, the back of your occipital skull, the lower skull gets massaged. And you have more room for your breath to open, blood flow to come to your lower back. And you find this release of weight onto a prop, a little nourishing, quietening. You start to ease away your tension. It's a lovely counter to all the overactivity that goes on in our life, bringing us to constant sympathetic arousal mode, where we're constantly reacting, responding. And this is a lovely counter to quiet the senses. Rest in this nourishment, turning the circulation and all the nutrition and nourishment to the organs in our torso. And raise your hips to release this prop, then lower the prop, and then finally just let go and put this on the side and rest your waist and hip fully. Next, we roll over onto our stomach. Come onto your stomach. Rest the weight of your forehead. And start to bring your hands mat width apart. Inhale. Raise your upper torso. Feel a stretch in the front of the spine. See that your shoulders don't rise up to the ears. Try not to collapse into your lower back. And turn your head to the right and rest your left temple. Exhale. Making it a habit to move to the length of your breath. So I inhale, I rise. And I exhale, I turn to one side. Rest. Inhale, rise. Warming up the spinal column. And I use movement to lengthen the breath. As I lengthen the breath, the brain, the mind, the endocrine system responds. Inhale. And I come out of that stress mode into a mode of nourishment. A mode where I send nourishment and nutrition to the organs in my torso and not to my arms and legs. And then come on to your forearms. So your elbows below your shoulders. Push back your shoulders and broaden your collarbone. Feel the length in the stomach, hip bone pressing, working on your kidney and adrenals. For any feeling of depletion, tiredness, overactivity, or even early aging. And bringing your attention to that organ at the back body, a source of prana, according to traditional Chinese medicine. A few breaths here. Spread your elbows to rest. Make a pillow with your hand. And then start to come back up again. Feel low on energy. You feel low on prana. After a little bit of warm up, you come onto this posture, Makrasana, and you could even start to bring one leg in, exhale, the other leg in, exhale, switch legs when you need to. As long as your shoulders don't ride up to the ears and you don't sink, you can even bend both your knees, push your heels down, feel a length in the front body. Breathe into your lower back. And then once again, release your leg, make a pillow with your hands, and let your temple rest on your hands. Pushing into our hands, a counter stretch to our back bend, slight rounding, slight lengthening. Finally, turn your toes under and start to take your hips up in the air. Start with bent knees, lengthen both sides of the waist. And this is a wonderful posture to lengthen the exhalation. Exhalation is designed to release and relax. And strengthen our rest and digest. Remember, if you're in a stress mode, the body will take it as a survival mode. And the body will always prioritize survival over digestion. And start to increase the holding of cortisols in the body. So I'm deepening my exhale and just letting my body let go of the tension that I hold, the impressions that I hold. And start to bring one heel at a time. Stay here. Stretch your calf. Push back into the leg, bend your knees, and now the other heel and calf. If your calf holds tension, your heart has to work harder. Bend both knees and see if you can push both heels down or one heel down at a time without rounding your back. Drop down to your knees. And extend your right leg back. And we start to also, with stress, lose bone density. So we put a little bit of stress on our bones by bearing our own weight. You could also extend your left arm to strengthen the bones. Bring your left hand down, bring your right foot on the outside of your leg, take your left leg away. Once again, you can also have some weight bearing on your bones. You could also keep both hands down and progress to one arm. You can try that the other side. Drop your knees, lengthening the left back knee up. You could stay here. See that your hip is not high up. I'm pressing into my palms. I'm feeling the weight on my divide up the arm to the chest, to the shoulders, to the outer arms. And then increase the load bearing on your one arm. As we hold stress hormones in our body, by living in constant stress, we also deplete in our bones. We start to lose our bone density. So we put a little stress to our bones, and we could also make this a little more dynamic. So bringing the left leg back, resting if you need to. Coming back to right, bend your knees, a little stress, little strain. Come back, take the leg back, stretch, lunge left. Some load bearing on our bones, but making sure that our breath is not compromised. Taking the left leg back, drop the knees, and finally rest the wrists. Next, try and lunge the right foot in between your hands this time. And start to open the front body, collarbone, pushing down into the heel, extending your arms upwards, lengthening upwards. And feel this back bend give us more energy. Open the chest, heart, lungs. Feel that full inhalation, full exhalation, and release. A modification to this would be left foot, hands to knees, hands to lower back, and simply stay here, feeling the stretch in the front leg, strength in the front leg, stretch in the back leg. And you could also start with expanding in your lungs, heart, and resting your head on your hands if it's too much for you to take your arm. You could also take one arm up and keep one hand on your waist. And then finally release. Point your left toe up. Feel the stretch in your hamstring where we hold tension in our back body. And feel that little point underneath the ball of your foot. It's an acupressure point called K1. It releases anxiousness and overthinking, helps us sleep better, and just massage this area of the foot. Same thing the other side. Switch carefully. And then see if you can find that spot. We can massage underneath the ball of your foot, an important acupressure point. And you find that sensitive point and you just take little circles and massage and breathe fully. And sitting down with your legs extended, staying upright, inviting circulation to the torso by lengthening and twisting. It's easier to twist when you have length in the torso. Use the hand behind you to give you height. And it's easier to take longer exhales versus inhale when you're twisted, so take full advantage of that. And then you bring your heel to the groin. You could also support your knee if you feel the knee is too high up, and you twist towards the straight leg. Your left hand is going to stay by your side. Your right arm gives you some height and length. You inhale here, legs supported, and exhale into the front leg. Janu Sirsasana is a balm to the nervous system. And once or twice we warm up before we start to hold Janu Sirsasana. Second round. Inhale. Would you like to try with both arms? Empty. Relax the shoulder, the neck is free. See that your one shoulder is not higher than the other. There is a twist, so be careful. If your back feels strained, bend the left knee a little bit, but don't round your back. I'd rather you keep the length and keep the knee bent. And just quiet the forehead. You could also bring a cushion or a bolster underneath your forehead and rest it here. Although there is strength in the stretch, the resting of the forehead will help relax any stress, strain, tension that you're holding in the body. I would recommend at least 5 to 6 breaths in this posture. Extremely calming posture, really helps you sleep, and it also tones your legs and waist. especially when you're feeling bloated at that time of the month before your cycle. You start to deepen your exhale, balance your hormones, and prioritizing digestion over survival. Come up. I keep coming back to load-bearing poses because after 35, a woman starts to lose her bone, especially if her stress levels are high. So we counter that by bearing our own weight. You bring your heel next to your inner left knee. You push into your palms, come up, and see if you can lift using the heel and the arm in a lovely counter pose to Janu Sirsasana as you lift upwards. Spread the heart, spread the lungs, coming down, and change sides. You start to bring the heel to the groin. And now we also work on the nadis and the meridian of the spleen, the side body. Spleen, kidney and liver. Liver is in the inner leg. The nadi of the inner leg are three important organs for hormonal balance, especially around perimenopause. So here we are in this wonderful stretch where we're not sinking into a stretch. There is a little strength, grace, poise, a little opening, bringing that elasticity back in your ribcage muscle, extending, even supporting our neck if you need to. Stay here at least 5 to 6 breaths and come back. Don't forget to do the other side. And then after doing the other side for 5 or 6 breaths, we come into this posture where I invite you to bring a blanket underneath your sit bone. Otherwise, if your hips feel tight, there might be a rolling back action like this, and you don't want that. You cannot roll your hips back if they're tight and then try and fold forward. First, we work on just bringing circulation to the hip, a healthy hip socket. So you take help of a blanket. Keep your toes pointing up, legs firm, and simply fold forward. Again, working with the inner leg is working with the nadis of the liver. And start to release your forehead little bit at a time, one breath at a time. You can even begin to start coming on your elbows. Pay attention to how your body responds to the length of your breath. Pay attention to how you feel in a posture and what it does for you. Start to observe yourself more. This is a magical time for you to be with yourself, to be with your inner quiet. And then finish off with the soles of your feet, a very powerful pose, especially for the organs of your lower body. And if you still have your bolster close by, you could also just rest here. If your hips feel tight, then rest with a block underneath your knee. So there's no strain on the knee. And at the same time, there's a release in the hip. So my knees are supported. Should you need the bolster, and then just simply fold here. Every time you exhale, you feel a lifting up of the perineum, inviting circulation there. And be present to each of your posture. Be present without pulsing, pushing, and let your body just ease into your posture with a combination of strength, breath, and a relaxation in the muscles. So it's a very nice combination of ease and strength at the same time, in the same posture. Finally, lying down on your back. You could also do the next posture. It's wonderful to do in the evenings. If you have a wall in front of you, you could also have your calves on a chair, bringing circulation to your adrenal glands and the organs of procreation. You could raise your hips and take your legs up in preparation for shoulder stand. A balm once again to your face, quiet eyes, to the nervous system. You could also rest your legs along a wall. You could finish your day like this, taking pain out of your feet. Sending nutrition and blood flow to your lower torso. And rest your arms. Finally, lifting your hips, releasing that bolster underneath you, roll to the side. We then finish with a de-stress pranayam, which is Ida pranayam, a nourishing pranayam, where our exhale and inhale first are equal. You breathe down to the depth of the torso. You access your lower rib cage, broadening your lower rib cage to each breath. And once you've learned to breathe down to the belly to a dirgh, long pranayam, we bring our right hand in the seal or mudra, left hand on the knee, and you just empty the left nostril. Left nostril, the Ida pranayam or Ida nadi, releases stress from your system. Empty right. Inhale left. Free flowing, no counting. Empty right. With your thumb, block the right. Inhale, filling up the bottom of your lungs, letting your stomach slightly expand. Exhale, right nostril. Again, inhale left. And exhale, right nostril. And you could do this for about 7 to 8 rounds. Each time lengthening your exhale a little bit more compared to the inhale. And then finally, alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana, which takes care of all of our physiological functions of our body and brings a wonderful balance to the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. Letting the circulatory, letting that message filter down to your entire endocrine system. Empty left. Inhale left. Empty right. Inhale right. Empty left. Inhale left. Empty right. Same side, breathe in. Empty left. And continue on your own. Be available to your breath steady, and your mind steadily on the breath. Take your time and expand on your breath to your capacity. You finish on the left nostril, finally lower your hand. Perimenopause, menopause, starting from the age of 35, is a time of transition when the endocrine system is doing a lot of lifting, a lot of heavy lifting. It's a time of huge changes in our body and restructuring and reorganizing of our body. And the body will always prioritize stress and responding to stress and responding to things that stress us out over digestion, over good sleep. It'll prioritize stress and survival over a good deep breath. Therefore, understanding the time of transition is to take stock and address the changes so that we can live medicine-free and symptom-free. Perimenopause and menopause is a time of our life where the body is going through huge transitions, doing a lot of heavy lifting. And this is a very natural part of our life. But this is a time also when we have to take care of our stress, to take care of other things.